All right, welcome back to the program. It's still Morning Delight here on Lagos Television. Talk Time, the last segment of the show. Today we are taking a look at fitness and wellness, of course, from an expert's perspective. What exactly do we mean when we talk about fitness and wellness? For a lot of people, walking for 5 minutes is a killian, and then you hear things like, I'm tired. I didn't think I was going to walk for that long. Okay, so what are some of those things that we can begin to do at ensuring that our physical balance is intact? Remelia and I, we try as much as possible to take our walks, at least on a daily basis. Is that enough? Do we need to start doing more? Do you need to stop eating ever? I have to.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Okay. That was a missile.
So that's what we'll be taking a look at today. A lot of people also have issues controlling portions of the meals they eat. Does this go an extra mile at keeping you fit? All right, so these are some of the things that we'll be talking about today on the program. We do have an expert in the house together. We'll be sharing, perhaps, comparing notes. I hope I can look like her at some point in time.
From where?
If I open my stomach, hey, you will run. You will run. Thank God for gone. All right, okay, so hopefully we'll have fun talking about these things today. And at the end of the day, we would, of course, hope that would have passed on to you, viewers, the right message this morning. Join us as we welcome Theresa Womack Okagwe. I hope I got that correctly.
Yes.
All right,
Teresa Womack Okagwe. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you
so much for being
me.
here.
Thank you.
Today. Right, so when we talk about fitness, wellness, so let's break it down. Fitness, wellness, what is the correlation?
Okay, so when you're speaking about fitness, you can be talking about your physical fitness and also your mental fitness, because everything goes together. When you're speaking about wellness, wellness covers the whole man or woman. So you want to look at your body physically, meaning your food. You want to look at your mind and what you're thinking, because your thoughts are creating our reality. And you want to think about your spirit as well, because you have to be spiritually fit as well. So that's my belief.
All right, that's okay. Pretty much explains fitness and wellness.
I'm very interested in knowing. I mean, you've been working with Nigerians for a bit now. What will be those myths that has come from working with women or men in Nigeria with regards to fitness and wellness that need a reshaping?
Sugar.
Sugar.
What I've noticed about Nigerians is that they intake a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of starch and quite a bit of meat as well. Obviously, I'm from America, so it's different there. Everything is prepackaged. Things are more fresh here, but there's a lot of starch, and starch breaks down to sugar. And sugar will slow you down. And to be in this environment, you got to have an energy about you, because it's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect everything in your life.
I don't know what carbohydrates is. Is energy giving food?
It is giving food, but it will give you a burst of energy and then you'll crash. So like you might be up and good and going after you've had your breakfast, and then by 9 or 10 o'clock, you're feeling really tired. So, people do other things. They start taking coffee or teas or energy drinks in order to keep going. And so you want to have that natural energy, but you can also look into alternatives to your coffee and tea. There's a coffee that I found for my husband, and it has ginseng and tunga ali in it. I'm an herbalist, so I'm big on herbs.
Okay.
Just look into herbs. Smoothies are a good substitution. Look for more whole grains to add to your diet. Because I know it's difficult to change what you've always been doing,
Right.
But at some point in time, we need to change what we've always been doing.
Right.
Just a little.
Let's take. Okay. There you go. Somebody just remembered she left her smoothie at home. Can you imagine?
It's okay. I have one in my purse for you.
Thank you.
So, I mean, let's quickly talk about that. I'm just talking about change. Now, so we've heard time and time again, change is the only constant thing in life. And so you must always have it at the back of your mind that sometime soon you just need to change either your regimen, how you do things. And so how do we begin to get it into the consciousness of people that at some point in time, especially as you age,
Yes.
you just might have the need
Right.
to change your diet,
Right.
what you eat. Some of us are big on coffee. And that's why she had to look at me like, okay, there you go. So
We're very strong-minded people.
so how do we begin to change the mindset of people and get it into your subconscious that at some point in time you just need to make conscious effort at watching what you eat?
You said the right words. It's about changing the mindset. You have to really get focused on your goal. And you gotta make some real conscious decisions at some point. You have to look at change as not like a chore or a duty, but as something that's going to be beneficial to your life. Like when you say health is wealth, that is a positive affirmation that can incite change, because over time you'll begin to think health is wealth. So when you're in the store, you're making healthier choices. You may not pick up certain things, or you might go for the whole wheat bread, or you might go for the low fat milk, or you might go for more fruits and vegetables. How it changed for me was very, very difficult. Very difficult. And a lot of us don't change until we come into a crisis, or we encounter somebody who come into a crisis and it scares us half to death. But we need to realize that change needs to come a little bit faster than that. And it's just about loving yourself and actually knowing what we're putting in our bodies. The world is designed that we're moving on autopilot. So we're just eating what we have to eat so we can get out the door and go to work and get the kids and come home and cook dinner. I'm tired. So we're on autopilot, but we're going to hit a wall, and either it's going to be a health crisis, mental health, something's going to happen. And that's when we're going to have to realize, I need to do this for me. So now that we have these conversations, you have viewers out there, they're going to understand that, okay, maybe I need to start making some decisions for me. What's good for me? Somebody's going to say, it's not, at about 10 o'clock, I do start to crash. I do get tired. And am I going for the healthiest thing? Am I going for an energy drink? Or am I going for coffee that's infusing caffeine into my body that is essentially poisoning me? We have to know what it is we're eating, because once you start to research the food that you're putting in your mouth, you will step away from it. It will scare you, probably more so in the United States than here, because a lot of your foods are fresher than ours. Everything is prepackaged, it has hormones in it and everything. So we are definitely being poisoned. But we need to know what we're eating. You need to know the basics of your food, because it will tell you about the dis-ease. Disease is dis-ease. Your body is uneasy with something that's happening, and your food will answer all of those questions. People just don't have the time, but you have to make the time. There's no pill for it, and your doctor is paid when you get sick.
Oh, most definitely. Well, that's a job.
What should the goal be? Sometimes you come to that realization and that mental state that, all right, I think I put on a few pounds, a few kgs, and I need to lose them. And so you start to hear, I want to lose 10 kg in 2 weeks, I want to lose 10 kg in 1 month. What should the ultimate goal be? Lifestyle? Or yo-yo dieting?
No dieting. The goal should be, how can I be at my optimal health? How do I want to perform in life? Am I okay that when I go to the park and little Johnny wants to run 5 miles and I'm like, bring me some oxygen, am I okay with that, or am I embarrassed, So it's about wanting to improve your health, because diets don't work. They'll work for a little bit, but they're not healthy for you. So you have to make the lifestyle change. It goes hand in hand. You have to make the lifestyle change. And the way, going back to your other question, how do you make the change? is once you start to do some research for yourself and do it small. We spend a lot of time on social media and on Google. Google what's good for you. Google your health condition. Google your health condition. Google the food that you're picking up. Look on the back of the food and see what's in it.
Right.
On your medicine bottle and see what's in that. Because your medicine is creating another problem. The poison in your medicine is creating another problem for you to deal with in 5 years. So we need to it's a matter of making yourself important and taking your health into your own hands.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to do it for you. We're the ones that's walking around that's tired and, you can wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go to 11, 12 at night and not get tired. It's possible.
Right. So let's talk about activities. Exercise is one, and so a lot of people say, oh, even if it's brisk walking or some kind of strolling, you just need to find something to do just to exercise your body and all of that. Is that a must, or is it also something that we've been so used to and we're just carrying it at the back of our heads that, you know what, I think that little help in the morning or in the evening is helping, or is it just one of those things that you do and doesn't really have much of an impact?
Fitness is absolute must. It's not necessarily about what you do or how much you do. I choose yoga because that's what saved my life. Okay. And yoga took me into meditation. Yoga is a moving meditation. Meditation is essentially prayer. And for me, I started with breathing techniques, which was hard because our everyday life is really fast. But just being aware of your breath, it brings more oxygen into your body. It increases blood flow. It's a form of fitness.
Right.
You can start with taking 5 or 6 or 7, build up to 10, 12, 20 breaths, deep breaths, and be conscious of the breaths that you're taking and clear out your mind for 5 minutes of that day. And then the next step, be conscious of when you're walking, how many steps you're taking. And then the next step, start to do some light stretches. Go to the park more, do things that are going to be fun for you. You don't have to be like, oh yeah, I gotta go hit the gym today because it ain't gonna happen. So do what you can do within the time that you have. They have chair yoga. There's chair yoga. You can do it sitting at your desk. And what stretching does, stretching is the best form of fitness that you can do because it loosens your muscles. What's causing disease in our body is mucus and inflammation. We need to cut down on dairy. We need to cut down on red meats if we can, fried foods if we can, because mucus and inflammation promote disease within your body. Every disease is flourishing off of mucus and inflammation. When you stretch, that is bringing more oxygen into your body, so you're increasing your blood flow. Your muscles are moving and stretching, and it feels good. Your limbs and your joints they're releasing the mucus. So start with a stretch in the morning. Do a consistent stretch in the morning.
Okay.
Do a 5-minute breathing exercise in the morning. You can find them online everywhere. Get up, you go online, do your lunch break and do a quick chair yoga sequence. And it'll build to maybe your full class. Or it'll build your walking. Do your walking, 30-minute walking, 20-minute walk, 10-minute walking. It'll build to 20. It'll build to 30.
Right.
Then you might bike ride. Then you might take a fitness class. So you just have to start. I meet people where they are.
Okay.
I don't give unrealistic expectations. And when it comes to food, I just tell people cut back on what we research, because I show them research. Cut back on what we research and what we see that is unhealthy. Okay. When you go to the store and you're picking up the milk and the cheese, put it away. Go for the health. Just go for the healthier option.
This is where also portions come in, portion control.
That's it. Go for the healthiest option. Try to do more natural foods, more fruits and vegetables, and you'll see. You try it for a week. When you go to the grocery store next time, those same snacks that you pick up, don't get the snacks. If you want, the pounds will go off.
Those who like to snack. See, our stress level here is quite high. And lots of people would say if you have a high stress level, you probably will start to come down with certain illnesses, and of course, would affect your mental wellness
Yeah.
and ultimately your fitness level. How do we begin to, I know you said yoga. To a lot of people, yoga isn't what is common in this part of the world. I've tried it.
You didn't find it funny.
It can be boring.
Just like,
Yes.
remember that thing you were doing? But how do you manage stress? I love to walk. That's my go-to. It is my go-to. I would walk as long as I'm tired, an hour,
Yes.
2 hours when I have the time. But most definitely, that's my comfort zone.
That's
And so
good.
when she said add more, I was like, I'm doing enough.
If you do, yes. So
How can we control our stress level?
the walking is good. Breathing exercises. I know that we all here are praying daily. So think about it like this. Your 5 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute meditation with 5, 10, 25 deep breaths. It is a prayer.
Standing, sitting, walking.
However you want
Your
to do it.
comfort zone. Find your comfort zone.
But you have to take yourself
Breathe in
to
through
that
your mouth
place.
or your nose.
You breathe in through your nose
And then you exhale.
and
you
out through your
exhale
mouth.
through your mouth.
You just want to breathe in through your nose and hold for a few seconds, and then let it out through your mouth. When you let it out, you have to be consciously aware of that breath. When you're taking that breath, appreciate that breath that God is giving you, okay? Because He could have taken it away in the night. So that's where it starts with appreciation. Appreciate the air that we are walking around unconsciously thinking about, the way our body is moving. Everything is about God at the end of the day, because He's moving all of this. So just appreciating the air that we breathe is honoring God. And it's honoring yourself. That oxygen is going to increase clarity in your mind, it's going to increase your blood flow, and you're going to see that you have more energy, you're more alert. All of those things will come into play. So you're doing the walking, that's great. Try to do breathing exercises and some stretch. Do you stretch before you walk, or do you just hit the street and go walking?
Okay.
You just
She
walk.
left the bells in.
Okay, so just add a few stretches to your walk. Stretch your arms and your
Once I
legs.
start the stretches,
You
and
don't
then
want to
I
walk.
hear some crack, crack. I'm going.
That's what we got to get out of the crack.
I'm just gonna sit my head down.
Listen, never overstretch. Never overdo it. And never overdo it.
Did you
Just
hear
do it to
light
your capacity.
stretches?
And it'll build light stretches.
This way.
And it'll build. But it'll build. It all builds. It all builds. But the stretching is necessary. It's the very simplest way that you can love on your body.
Yeah, but I think
Planks as well.
That's
The
good.
importance of planks. Is that a good way to stretch? The planking? The planks?
Yes, planks are a good way to stretch, but you got to get those limbs moving. Just your arms, your legs, your neck, your main limbs. Get your main limbs a little stretch.
Will
why
dancing
some-
suffice? Will dance? Can I just
okay.
do dancing and I'm stretching?
Dancing is good, but it's not stretching. Don't want you to pop your hip out because you're not ready. Dancing is
Dancing
good,
isn't stretching.
but you know,
It's
it's
not
stiff.
But
stretching.
some people think you should stretch after your normal walking, if you're walking or you're jogging, and then you do your normal light your rounds, and then you come back and do your stretches. So, but you would advise you stretch first.
I
before-
advise to do before
And after.
Okay.
because you start thinking about your body and the way your body's made, your muscles. When you start walking for a long time, my muscles tight. You know, the muscles are tight. You didn't give it a light stretch, just a light stretch, just to honor the fact that, hey, I'm going walking. Let me just stretch it out. Make it your activity.
Right.
This is your love on you time. This is your I love me. I'm doing this for me. I'll be fine as wine once I cut down those carbohydrates. You know, that's your love on you time.
Right.
So don't take it as a chore.
Right. It's-
Just light stretches
find
for your
fun.
body.
Just do it for fun.
Yeah, you do it for fun and for function because you know you need to get that blood going. You can't do any exercise without doing a light stretch first.
Right.
And then always keep mindful of your breaths that you're taking. Whenever you're doing any exercise, the breath is the most important thing.
Just be in the moment.
In that moment, breath puts you in the moment.
I asked to go back to food. I know that you've talked about the fact that yes, you have quite fresh meals here, ingredients you can get off the market and all of that. But then, largely, most of our produce are you still find carbs. in most of what we eat, no matter how much the portions are here. Is that all? Can that be a disadvantage when it comes to portioning and what you're eating? I know you've said cut your dairy products, cut your red meat, and I know that we have this culture of if you do not have plenty meat on your food, you're a pauper.
Yeah.
So
25 meats in a pot. I'm like, what is this? Haven't seen this before.
right. So again, going back to the kind of food that we have, still comes back to carbohydrate, breaking down into sugar, not good for us. So here, portioning, taking lot of fruits and vegetables, mixture here. So if you're eating rice, are you mixing with plenty of vegetables? So how best can we make our meals in line with wellness?
And what you want to do is you don't have to cut things out completely.
Okay.
You can look for the healthier option, and then things you don't have to take every night. So you can mix up your kind of rice. Some people, like, I don't know if they have like quinoa. I don't know what all the other options are here for you to have as, you know, something to make your meal a meal. Like, you can't just eat carrots and, you know. But look at what you have in front of you and then see what might be the best option. Okay. And then just explore with food. We get set in our ways and we eat the same thing repetitively. Try other ways to cook your meals and then pair it with the healthier option. Take a smoothie in the middle of the day. You know, instead of eating we like the ndume, you know, sometimes it's our quick, ndume, thank you. It's quick, you know, throw those little vegetables in there and that egg on top and it's good, you know. But those things, like, cut that off one day out of the week. You know, change your pot 1 day or 2 days out of the week. Start that way. Change your protein 1 day or 2 days out of the week. Go for a fish or go for chicken, where you might do another type of meat.
Right, and if you're eating many fries, you can grill, you can cook.
Yes, you can saute, you can boil, you can grill. We have to start exploring with food because we just are comfortable. And the comfortable is not good for our health. Because we're going to get uncomfortable and then we have to try to figure it all out. But now, you know, with everybody is trying to figure out their disease and their problem and their craziness and everything, and they're always going to go back to food. It's all going to go because food can be chaotic.
You are a firm believer that food is healing.
Yes.
You can heal yourself through food without having to depend on medications and, of course, any other thing that you do not need, that could bring toxins into the body. So your go-to should be your food, as fresh as they can be. Mix it up. Reduce your meat intake. But I would have thought Americans eat more meat than Nigerians. You guys always making steaks every now and then.
Right. I don't know. I think the difference is, like, we have one protein on the plate. Yeah, just one. My husband was like, "What's going on? You need to put plenty. There's beef, there's goat, there's chicken." I'm like, "What is this? I can't eat this. Get it away. Bring me something else. Just give me a piece of fish." I asked him what was in the egusi soup. He said chicken. And then I looked. I was like, "What is this?" It was fish. And then I looked. I was like, "Beef. This is not just chicken." So there's a difference, but yeah, so I think it's because maybe we just do one protein at a time, but it still doesn't make us healthier. It doesn't make us healthier.
That's not how we cook our soup. It looks,
there has to be plenty embellishment.
Plenty in it, but limit this soup. And look for other healthier options. Just make sure that it's just make sure it's as fresh as possible.
The food won't be tasty.
No.
Your husband is there. He's from the eastern part of Nigeria, am I right? Those people have a lot of roadblocks when they're eating. How do we break away? That's the way our mothers, grandmothers taught our mothers taught us to cook.
Don't break away. Just improve upon the old style, the best way you can. You don't have to take away the culture, the tradition, or the flavor. And that was the hardest thing for me because I love my food. So when I started to explore around with more fruits and more vegetables and cut, I was a big meat eater. I love my pork and my chicken and my steak and all of that. I was a big meat eater, but I realized that this is killing me. And it took me years for that to get into my head that this is not good for me. And I'm so thankful that it did, because once it did, I just don't choose it anymore.
Right.
Or I choose it to a certain point.
So bottom line here is we need to make conscious effort
Yes.
at curtailing what we eat.
Reach for the healthiest option and know what you're eating and what it does to your body.
All right.
Okay. All right. Eric had a conversation with someone one time and said, Abimbola said it earlier as we were opening the show, I love to eat eba. And then the person said, your soup is the main meal. And the Eba said, just leave me alone. Don't ever talk to me again. And I'm like, don't you tell me the soup is the main meal. I want to eat eba and soup. Eba is the meal. Soup is the accompaniment. All right. Okay, thank you so much, Theresa Wama Ukaigwe, for coming on the show, fitness and wellness expert. And I do hope Nigerians who are watching have learned a thing or two. Just be sure to take your movements. Be sure, Eliza, to go. Food is your go-to, the best medication you can ever have. And mix it up. Do not eat everything all at once. All the rishi and the eja panla at the same time. Share them. Eat one in the morning and night. Don't be like Abimbola and I. We try. We try. We try. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of this week's edition of Morning Light. It's been a fantastic week that we've had with you as a viewers on the other side. Thank you so much. Without you, we would never be here. And also, all those who work behind the scenes to make the show one that is at least enjoyable for you, our viewers at home. I am Romelia Sangmedo. Of course, as we go into the weekend, prayers for Nigeria. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And on Monday, we will be back. Of course, you know what time and what day Monday is, and we will be doing it live from Lagos Television. Good morning and enjoy your weekend.
All right, this is where we will say thank you for watching the program all week long. Everything we talk about this program, one thing comes up. We have to be intentional. Be intentional, parents. Be intentional at what you're eating, everything. Just be intentional. That's it. Be intentional this weekend and stay safe. I am Abimbola Bello. Bye for now.